Hey YouTube, it's Cassandra. I wanted to get back to talking to you because I left you a year ago with all of these ideas that I really wanted to address and look into. I thought that I wanted to start this YouTube channel and kind of guide new nurses and give you guys all sorts of advice. I've sort of since changed the focus of what I want this channel to be about. I do want to do some nursing things, but I don't want it all to be nursing. As it turns out, while my trade is nursing and my profession is nursing and my passion is definitely taking care of people, I would say that it is not nursing that is my only passion, and that's why I would love to do this YouTube channel and bring it in a different light. I think that a lot of times people sort of define themselves by the job that they have and not by the human being that they are or the passions that they have. So we're not going to do that here. 2021 has flown by, and as you can probably tell by my background, while I'm in the same chair, I have very different walls, and I no longer live in my New York City penthouse apartment. I loved that apartment. That's about it. I'm not going to say I loved New York City because I didn't. I'm not going to say I loved the surroundings because I really didn't. And I absolutely hated being away from my family and friends. I was a nurse in New York City for 5 years, and much to my disappointment, I've about broken even. New York City was so expensive, things have happened with contracts, and I really didn't end up making any financial gains by living in New York City, which was the whole point of moving there. So I'm trying to quantify the gains in knowledge and experience that I gained there, because if I don't do that and I only look at the financial gains and losses, I would probably cry because there have been more losses than gains. So I wanted to talk actually more briefly about the things that I've done in 2021 to kind of align myself with more success and kind of tend to my whole human condition. I wanted last year to talk about a nursing care plan for myself, which I have since decided not to do because I thought it was very gimmicky, and we're not about that here. So I want to have real talk, real discussions with you guys about real situations. So the number one thing that I've done in 2021, the number one thing, my dog is licking herself. My setup's falling apart. Stop. The number one thing I've done in 2021 is care less. I know that sounds a little bit underwhelming, but the number one thing that I've done is to learn to care a little bit less. Now, that's not to say being careless, because we're not about being careless here. We're conscientious individuals and we make conscientious decisions, well informed. That's what we're about here. But in terms of caring less, can I just tell you, it is so good. If you don't sign my paychecks, if you don't pay my bills, if you are not offering constructive criticism because you are above me in my field and have value to offer in my life, I don't care. I don't care. Simple as that. And it's a great feeling. And once you embrace that feeling, I promise you, everything else goes smoother in life. And it has taken me 35 years to get there. prioritizing who and what matters most, and caring a little bit less about the things that don't matter. Number 2, prepare more. How can you care less and prepare more? In fact, caring less about the things that don't matter opens up time, space, and energy for you to prepare for the things that do matter. And when you prepare for the things that do matter, you are able to present yourself with confidence and competence. And when you are a confident and competent individual, what other people think, say, and do don't matter quite as much. So they kind of feed into each other. The third thing that I've done, and it's been a long-standing thing, position yourself where you are most valued. So there's a example of like a bottle of water. My bottle of water is purple, ignore it. I can go to the store and I can get 48 of these bottles of water for like $5. I can go on my college campus and I can pay about $1.50 for that bottle of water. We can go to the airport and we can pay $3 for that bottle of water. We can go to certain resorts and we can pay $7 for that bottle of water. It's still a bottle of water, but in one place it's worth less than 30 cents. In another place it's worth $7. That's wild, right? Same thing with everything and everyone. There's a place where you are valued, and if you're not in it, it's your job to find it. Find the people who love you, the job that embraces and recognizes your value and worth. And if they refuse to recognize your value and worth, realize that there are about 7 billion other people on this planet. You can go find the people, the positions, the places, the jobs that do value you. And I did that. And I found one. And I'm happy. And I love my job. Go figure. The next thing kind of ties in with the third thing. The fourth tip is not to force it. Now this falls in line with dating and relationships. It falls in line with jobs. It falls in line with friendships. For me, New York City was not a good situation, and I tried for 5 years. I lived in 5 different apartments, well, 5 different situations, and none of them were good. Even the best one, the penthouse, had a pool. I mean, I had everything I could ever want in a space, and I was still so unhappy with New York City. It just wasn't a good fit for me. I'm a country girl. I love to ski. I love to snowboard. I love swimming in lakes. I love fishing. I want to go hunting someday. What on earth would make me think that New York City would be a good fit for me? Because everybody said do it. The opportunities are there. But I wasn't happy there. So screw the opportunities. Why force yourself to be somewhere you're not even happy? I would say the same thing for everybody. Find the place that fits you. Where things go right. Where people are right for you. Find your crowd. Find your situation. Find your niche. The last thing, your happiness and your health are paramount. And you notice each thing kind of builds off the last. This one is my favorite though, because This is the one that we prioritize last. Okay? Your health and your happiness is something that we go, oh, yeah, we know it's important to be happy and healthy, but first I have to do X, Y, and Z. Right? No. First, you have to be happy. I played tennis this year. I hadn't played in 5 years. I played golf this year. I hadn't played in 12 years. I played poker this year. Hadn't played in 2 years, obviously, because of the pandemic. I just did the things I enjoyed doing. I saw my best friend. I climbed a hiking trail in Ithaca. Gorgeous. I went to the lake. I didn't go in the lake. I wanted to, but I didn't. I ran with my dog. I did things that I just forgot I enjoyed doing. And they're so important. Because if you're working every day, day to day, the hustle and bustle, what's the point if you're not doing anything that feeds your happiness? Find some music that you love. Sing. When's the last time you sang out loud? Play air guitar. Be goofy. Be happy. Find what it is that makes you happy. Set aside time. Put it right in your planner right ahead of time. If something else conflicts with it, sorry. I have an obligation. You don't have to lie and say I have an appointment, or, oh, you can just say I'm busy. I have a prior engagement. They don't need to know that your prior engagement is going to trivia with your best friend, okay? They don't need to know that. It's a prior engagement. That's all you need to know, okay? Schedule in time for fun, because time to make money, it's gonna be there. You're gonna miss all the fun. You're gonna miss all the family. And I think that's the other reason I'm so happy to be home. Because yes, it is Christmas Eve and I'm shooting a YouTube video, but I know that I get to spend time with my family tomorrow. Versus last year, I spent it alone because I was afraid to pass things to them. And the year before that, I was afraid to travel because I was afraid to bring that stuff here. You gotta make time. Anyway, guys, I'm really happy to be back. I'm hoping that I can get on here more consistently. If you guys have any questions for me, whether they're nursing questions or questions about living in New York City, or dating and relationship questions, because Lord knows I know nothing about that, but I'll answer what I can. Feel free, get on here. I would love to know what you would like to know more about. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you very soon.